Okay, some of you, I hope you didn't go look for puzzle number three on the videos. I didn't do that on purpose because one and two are basically the same, and number three is kind of like letting you see if you can do it on your own. I mean, you can reference one and two, and it'll help you with three. So we're gonna look at number four real quick, but this one is a little bit different than the other three that we just did. It says this program filters a list of animals to only take the animals with more than five letters in their name. Add code to filter the list of students to those with names of six or more letters. So what the computer program needs to do now is it's taking that list that we were working with, I think earlier. I'm not sure if it's the same list or not, but it's now looking for students that have only six or more letters in their name. So now we have to work with the code so that it's going to basically create a loop that will go through the names, but while it's going through the names, it's going to check to see if a name has more than six letters. And if it does, then we're printing it out. And this basically is an application of when, say, a company wants to see, or not even shouldn't say a company. If you think about it in the school level, when you guys are doing your usernames, they take the first three letters, the last three letters, or I should say the first three letters of your first name and the first three letters of your last name, and then they splice it together with your birth month, and that creates your user ID. So there's a program that's built to do that. So now we're going to kind of see how that program works. So right now we have a creation and assigned list for animals. It even tells you that if you run it, it'll run and look like this. It's only going to do alligator because alligator has more than five letters. Bird doesn't, cow doesn't, dog doesn't, emu doesn't, but flamingo does, and so does gorilla. And if you look down here, that's what it did. It gave you a list of those particular animals, and just me talking through it is basically what the program is doing. It's going through the list and it's processing and seeing which animals are going to be printed out. So this right here is the command that makes it print out. This is your list. This is your variable animals filter, because what's going to happen is you're going to need something to go through and create a different list is what it is. And so you got var animal. So what this is doing, this for loop, if you notice, this looks like the same one we've just been working with, this first outside loop. It basically has a counter. It has a variable that creates the counter, and it tells you go look at the list that you have and use that number. Now it still has another variable that it takes right here, and it says equals animals excuse me, and that tells the computer, hey, we're going to use whatever that index is to assign to this variable so we can print it out. Now we're not printing out the final list until here. And what's happening is they're creating a whole new list, is what it is. Animals filter comma animals is creating another list called animals filtered. And that's why you're printing out animals filtered. You're not printing out animals, but you're using it, but you're not printing it out. So what's happening is they have another loop inside of it. It says if animal length is less than, or excuse me, greater than five, then go ahead and append animals filter animals. So what's happening is the computer's first time it goes through, it's like, you know, basically it's saying, okay, so right here, this would be zero. Is zero, I mean, the question is being asked by the computer program, is zero less than the animal length? And the answer is yes, it's still going through. If animal length is greater than five, then append item filtered, um, comma animal. Okay, sorry, I had to hit the pause button for a second because I was trying to process through this. So what's happening is right here, we're telling the computer we're looking at this variable animal, which we gave right up here, is set to animals index one. So when the value comes through, the computer's taking this first thing, it says alligator, it's putting it right here, and it's saying that alligator is we're setting animals to the word alligator. And so when that happens, it's coming down here and says if the length, which is alligator, is greater than 5, then append item animals filter with the word alligator. So it's kind of hard to talk through it without showing it on paper, but basically it's just checking to see if the word itself is bigger than 5 characters. And so what's going to go happen is they're creating the list, it's appending the list. And you remember that from the last couple lessons, that append means just to add on to. And then at the end, it comes up with animals filtered, and that's how it prints out this list. So basically, in a nutshell, we've gotten the list and we've gotten the console message which says this, and now we're looking for 6. So basically, we're doing. If you notice, all we're really doing is adding in the this code right here, actually. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to copy and paste it. I know there's a lot of explaining going on there, but there are a lot of pieces to this piece of the puzzle. And you notice, remember where the black thing is, Control V it, because wherever that black thing is, that's where it's going to appear. Now, we got to make sure the variables are right. That's the problem. So instead of animals, we're dealing with students. This is the easy part. Actually, thinking about the process is kind of hard. And remember, anywhere there's animals, now we're doing students. Remember, this is animal. That's not animals. It's animal. So it's only one. So instead of, it's a little confusing. Sometimes you might have to change the variable names. This one, they try to make it simple, but sometimes simple isn't always better. So then we have students. Oh, you know what? I created my for loop in the wrong place. So I'm going to take all of this piece right here. Let's see if I can get a hold of it because it's kind of hard to. There you go. And Control C. Since I'm Control C and Control V, I'm probably gonna have to delete some stuff. Um, I'm pretty sure Control X works the same way too, but I'm not gonna take a chance. I'm just gonna Control C it and then throw away the right pieces. So, and I'm gonna pull this up to the top too because it was supposed to be right before the for loop, right there. Okay, so now we got the other variables that were created after this was created. Now remember, it's the same thing as this piece right here. So now I'm just changing a couple things around. We don't have to do anything with this student filter because all we're telling is, well, we do have to copy and paste it though. I know. So Control C and come up here to where it says animals filtered and Control V. That's the only place that exists except here, and that's already done for us, so we don't have to do too much. And anywhere you see animals, now we're going to do student, or it should say animal, not animals. So Control V, Control V, and Control V. Make sure, double check all your stuff. Make sure everything reflects students. I've updated everything with students. Anything past this line right here should be students below it and animals above it. So now I'm going to punch reset and run it. And there's your list. Now, is it correct? That's the question. So it's saying anything over 6 letters. Ooh, did I change that? That's something I didn't check either. Hold on. Remember, the original said 5. Yeah, there it is. I didn't change it. That's why it's always best to check your work because if you look at, well, I guess it kind of worked out okay, but really you should always make sure because you don't want to, you don't want to mess anything up. I should have changed that number to 6, and that's the piece that I forgot. And it does change the list too. So let me make sure that I have the right thing. So if I'm the computer, I'm looking at the list. Well, if it's six or more, I'm printing it. So Angel isn't, Ben isn't, Clarissa is, hmm, six or more. So the original said greater than five. Maybe this piece should be an equal sign because, see, this first one says more than. It's kind of funny that they did that because that kind of does change a few things. More than five letters. This one says have six or more. So you can change it now. That makes it harder if you have to do all the blocks and everything. Best thing to do is just go to show text and put an equal sign right there. Um, it basically tells the computer, hey, we're going to go ahead and go with equals to six and run it, and it should change the list again. Yep, it did. Because Darren is a six-letter one, so it did it. So I'm going to go back to show blocks. And that was a little bit harder, but that equal sign does make a difference because they changed the wording right here. So it gives us the list that they show. See right there, six or more. And it gave us the list. So you say, oh, why didn't it print out? Oh, I guess when you punch this tab right here, that's what it's trying to show you. There you go. Sorry. I forget the little shortcut sometimes. And that takes care of puzzle four.